On school-related items today, more than 50 school nurses and 10 CCISD police officers got together to learn how to help the wounded during an emergency, such as an active shooter situation.
I mean, it's tight right there. Yes, see, that's where I want to be. Now twice, 2 times on that.
And as you're seeing here, they learned how to use tourniquets and stuffed gauze and put pressure on a wound until help arrives. This training all part of something called Stop the Bleed, which is a required program now at schools statewide. CCISD Police Chief Kirby Warnicki saying the district will have more than 120 emergency kits spread throughout the campuses. It'll include the tourniquets, gauze, chest seal, a space blanket, and more life-saving tools.